Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ascend Podcast, where real estate meets AI. I'm your host, Hannah Taylor, a realtor, investor, and AI strategist, helping brokerages bridge the gap between innovation and real connection. Today, I'm sitting down with Christie Bergen, the co-founder and broker of Salt Marsh Realty in beautiful Savannah, Georgia. Christie started as a top producing agent for over a decade before launching her own independent brokerage, and she's built something truly special, a company rooted in collaboration, creativity, and community impact. We'll dive into what makes Salt Marsh's no diva policy so effective, how they managed to create a culture of support in an often competitive industry, and where Christie sees opportunity to bring technology, especially AI, into the mix to help agents stay motivated, connected, and productive. Christie, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks. Yeah, you make me sound great.
From what I've learned, you really are, and that's why we have you on today.
Oh,
I'm super excited to have
thanks.
this conversation with
Yeah,
you.
me too.
Yeah, so let's just start by giving the listeners a feel for your journey and share a little bit about your background and what led you to build this beautiful thing called Salt Marsh Realty.
Yeah, so I started my career actually in construction management in 2005 when I graduated college and did that for a couple years. Obviously, everything kind of tanked in 2009, and I kind of rode that recession wave, went into property management for a while and absolutely hated property management. I'm like, I am not cut out for this. So in 2012, I'm like, I'm gonna get my real estate license. My best friend was licensed. He said, come be on a team. He's like, you have the personality. I'm really good at the paperwork. I'm like, sounds great. I hate paperwork. Let's do it. So we went into business together. We didn't ever want it to affect our friendship. So we were a team for about 2 years. And then I went out on my own. And I was with an independent brokerage for the next, gosh, I think 7 or 8 years of my career, like kind of a solo agent with an independent broker. And he merged, and then they decided to join a corporate franchise. And someone came in and said, your social media doesn't look like it should, and it needs to fit this mold and look exactly this way, and these colors only, and this font only." I'm like, oh, I'm out. I need a creative outlet. I can't do this anymore. So I created Salt Marsh Realty about 3 years ago with our property manager from our old company. He's one of my best friends and my husband who does vacation rentals. And we started Salt Marsh just to be something extremely local, hyper focused. We build up other businesses, feature them on our social media. We have something called the Savannah lunch break where we go eat at new restaurants and then rate them. We only eat at the good places, so everybody gets a 10. And just have kind of built this. People love it. You shop local at Christmas time. It's really encouraged to support local businesses, and people love that that's what we do and that we give back to the community.
I love that. It sounds like Salt Marsh is so integrated in the community, and that's how you teach your agents to really run their businesses as well. And I think that's something that a lot of brokerages lack, right? We get almost too big
Hmm.
for where we are, and going hyper local and really giving back. It seems like that's a huge focus for you. So I love that. So what does a typical day look like for you now? You run this, this real estate brokerage. Is your brokerage also doing property management? Are you guys just selling houses? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I only run the real estate stuff.
Okay.
I'm kind of the sales manager, the marketing person, the graphic designer. I do all of that. The graphic design and the creative outlets, the part that I just enjoy. It feeds my soul. Jonathan, my business partner, he's also a broker. He deals with some paperwork. If we have a new agent or anybody that needs to do something with the board, he does all that tedious paperwork, and he does property management. And then my husband, Patrick, he runs the vacation rentals. So we kind of have property management, vacation rentals, and then real estate, all with like kind of under the Salt Marsh umbrella. And then my husband also is our CFO. So they don't want me to deal with the money. So he deals with all the money, gets everybody paid, pays all the bills.
I love that. Yeah, so it sounds like everybody kind of has their like niche area that they run, which is fantastic. You're kind of leaning into your own strengths. So tell me how many agents or brokers you have on the team.
Oh gosh. So yeah, there's one other broker, and then we have about 15 agents,
Wow. All selling real estate. Or do some of
all
them do
selling
property
real estate.
management as well? Okay.
Nope. They're all in real estate. Some are full-time real estate, some are part-time. I would say producing agents, we probably have about 8 who like actively produce and do
Mhm.
really well.
That's wonderful. Yeah, so let's speak first to the producing real estate brokerage side of the business. So, things have changed quite a bit over the years. We've seen interest rates plummet down, skyrocket up. I think agent retention is one big area where a lot of people are having trouble right now, or recruiting high performing agents. And then of course we've got technology coming into play. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things happening that change the way that brokerages operate. So what major shifts are you seeing, and how is that impacting your role and your agents' current roles?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's, the good agents. I came in right after the recession, 2000
Mm,
2012, we're kind of rebuilding. And all of the agents who were actively selling at that time were like the best agents. So they already
mm,
had their systems in place and, kind of cream rises to the top. So they hung around and they had that longevity. And I'm seeing that again now. Like the
mhm,
agents who are frustrated, who maybe didn't have good leadership and good training, they're leaving the business. And
mm.
there's enough to go around, but it's good for the good agents, for the people who don't really want to do this full time and aren't focused and, didn't have the training to kind of go. So now we have these agents, and I sit down with all of them like a brand new agent comes in, and I'll say, listen, you kind of have three choices. You can go join a big team. They're going to feed you leads. You're going to be busy. You're going to learn it, but you're going to give them 50% of your profits. Or you can go join, one of the big transaction only brokerages. They sometimes they have some training. It really looks good on paper, but you're in charge of all your marketing. You're paying for a desk fee. You're paying for copies. You're paying for all of this. Like I don't know if the support system is really there. And then we're a traditional brokerage, so you come in. Every other week, we have a training in our office. So when I have a bunch of new agents that come in, like every quarter, I'll run this new agent training, and we'll go through everything. And I think it's really important for these new agents who come in just to retain them is to train them and teach them
Mm.
everything. So like next week, the class is I've got a buyer now what, and we're going to sit down and we're going to go step by step. And I'm really using AI to kind of help me write these classes and give me better ideas and structure it really well.
Yeah, I love that. And so are your new agents that are using kind of these training things that you're providing them, are they also trying to figure out like how can I make my day-to-day easier with AI, or have they not really bridged that gap yet?
I always incorporate it. I think AI is just making everyone's life so much easier. I know, I mean, I'm a mom also, and
Okay.
I have two dogs and two kids and sports, and my kids are at that elementary age where we have sports every night. Like we're all over town, and I need AI. Like I needed something to help me get a couple hours back in the day. So if I
Mhm.
can have something in my email that's already filtering all my emails, deciding what's important, and drafting some responses that I can just click, that saved me an hour, and that
Yeah.
hour is very valuable. So I'm teaching my agents now, like, hey, it's okay to use ChatGPT to help you write a listing description. Just make sure that you read it and tweak it. And we don't want it to sound too cookie cutter. But
Mhm.
it's helped me when I'm doing these classes. I go in and I say, here's what I want to teach, and here are the key points I want to make. Can you structure this in a way that I can present it better? And I
Mhm.
didn't have to spend an hour trying to come up with a PowerPoint of how I want to structure this. And it's just
Absolutely.
already made it for me.
Yeah, I love to hear that, and I think there are so many ways to integrate AI into what we do as agents, and I think you're definitely scratching the surface with, like, email responses, just having those kind of what we put in and we train the AI bot is what they'll put out for us, so as long
Hmm.
as you're putting in, the personality or the responses that you think, the computer can learn and kind of regurgitate back to our clients, like, it's going to be very authentic, right? We aren't gonna lose that level of authenticity that you're trying to build with, the brand that you have at Salt Marsh. So tell me specifically, like, what services are you using right now to do those email responses, or is it just ChatGPT? Like, what are you using with AI?
Yeah. So I feel like ChatGPT was like my little baby step into the pool, and I
Yeah.
have fully embraced it. I think it is amazing. And just sidebar, we actually just got a new agent. She found us through ChatGPT.
Oh, wow. How did that
Yeah.
work?
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
She typed in, I just got my real estate license in Georgia. I want I'm not sure exactly what she said, but maybe like, I want a good supportive brokerage, something local. And it said, we highly recommend Salt Marsh Realty. And we were like her first call.
Isn't that
And so the
amazing?
running joke was, I told her, I'm like, well, it knows enough about my business because I use it all the time to help me. So I'm glad that it is helping support me in that way. Thank you,
Yes.
ChatGPT.
Yeah. That's
Um,
a function of it that I hadn't even realized would have been possible, but that's amazing. It's helping you on the
there we
recruiting
go.
side,
I
just,
love it.
Yeah, as long as the end user is asking it, it can support you. That's wonderful.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
definitely ChatGPT, and now, I'm still trying to find the perfect program for this, but you get emails. I have my personal email and then I have my work email, and I'm all the time getting invitations to things, people saying, hey, um, the kids have a swim meet on this day and this time. And I want an AI that can just go through my emails and find those things and just automatically put them in my calendar. And I'm
Wow.
working on that. I don't know who has this. I've tested a couple products. If anybody out there knows what I can use, it'll just automatically do this for me. Please let me know.
Yeah.
But I have gotten into Marbleism is my new one. It's doing my emails right now, and it's helping out with supposedly it can do some recruiting and help me with that part of my job. I'm still kind of delving into it. I'm still in my trial. But
Yeah.
I've tried several and trying to find what works best for me.
Yeah, I love that. And I honestly, your vision for having something kind of integrate any like invitations or events into your calendar would be, I think, so useful for real estate agents that are trying to remain hyper local. Because on a weekly basis, I'm looking through Meetup, Eventbrite, Facebook events, things like that that I can go to be face to face with my community members. And that is a very manual process. And oftentimes, I might RSVP to the event, but if I don't put it on my calendar, I
Hmm.
don't go. And so I agree. I think it would be great to have like, here's all the events that are going on. And then you can also promote that, via your social medias and whatnot to your followers, because a lot of the times they look to us for what's going on in the community. How can I, what are some great restaurants in the area? That's really good social media content. So I love that idea. It's a way to really kind of integrate AI with a really useful tool to get like promotions out there, not for yourself, but to get face time.
Yeah, I need
Um,
somebody to go create this.
yeah, I think we're onto something here. And then yeah, I love the responding to emails too. When you have something already drafted as a response and you can just hit send, the time saved is just absolutely incredible. Um, and then yes, for recruiting, and I think when we talked first, you had mentioned, it's really easy to recruit brand new agents that have no experience. But at this
Right.
point, you're probably looking to hire more producing agents or agents that have their systems in place so you don't maybe have to spend as much time on that training. So tell me a little bit about, how you've used AI to do agent recruitment.
So I went into ChatGPT and I said, give me some ideas to recruit some new agents. And one of the ideas was, to make a video. So we're funny. We have a good time. If you ever check out our Instagram, shameless plug, it's Salt Marsh Realty SAV. If you ever check it out, we're funny. There's a lot of just like really light things. Yeah, we sell houses, so we do throw those in as well, but that's not why people come to us. Um, and so we made a recruitment video. We actually sent it to everybody in our MLS, and we're like, "Why should you come work for Salt Marsh?" Well, here at Salt Marsh, we have a good time, and we'll make you feel like part of the family. It was really cheesy, but it worked, and we actually had somebody call, and now they work for us. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's just our reputation, and people just know that they're gonna have a good time with us, and it's
Yeah.
gonna feel more like a family than like a competitive office environment like a lot of other brokerages.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, that's a true competitive advantage, truly. I love my brokerage. We all had a weekend event where we had a huge, brokerage event, but invited all of our clients. We had over 100 people come, and then we all, had a family dinner. We stayed the night at this place in Keystone, Colorado. The house that we stayed at had a basketball court, pickleball court, volleyball, pool, hot tub. So we were all just hanging out, and I was like, what a great, it just feels good to work
Oh
around
yeah,
family, right? Like we're still independent
that's fun.
contractors, but all these people are still my work family. And it really does make a difference in the quality of life for agents when you're working with people that
Yeah.
you appreciate. So,
Yeah, we had a big bar crawl last Friday night. Everybody got to bring their significant others.
yeah.
The running joke was bring your spouse or your significant other or your Tinder date, like whoever, just
Or your
bring a
dog.
friend. Yeah. Somebody brought a paralegal that they just done a closing with. I'm like, fantastic.
Wonderful. Come on, come
Come
all.
on.
I love that so much. That's so good. So yeah, let's talk just really quickly, like what's working really well for you right now? Because I love hearing people's success stories, but then also what are things that have been like challenging or frustrating for you lately?
Okay. So I think what's working is, the training. I think my agents fully feel like they're getting anything they need, even the experienced agents. I mean, what do you want to learn? And,
Mm,
when things were slow this year, because I think they've been slow kind of across the country, they were like, how do we get more clients? And so we put together training and we went in and we, embraced AI and we're like, hey, just give us some ideas. We're in Savannah, so we have the Savannah bananas. And I know there's a lot of Savannah banana fans across the country, but
Mhm.
Jesse Cole, who's the founder of the bananas, he wrote several great books. But in one of them, he said they have a big dry erase board in the office and everybody's encouraged to just put things up there. Put all your crazy, wild ideas on the board and we'll try 'em. And I tell my agents that I'm like, listen, I don't care how crazy it sounds in your head. Like, let me hear it. We will try anything. And we really encourage our agents to have opinions and tell me what's working, what's not working. What do you like? What do you dislike? And I think that because they feel safe doing that,
Mm.
that has made us better. We send an anonymous survey out. We're like, what are we doing that you don't like? And it's totally anonymous. And we got some responses. And I'm like, okay, let's pivot, let's fix it. I want my agents to be happy.
I love
And so
that.
I think that's really working for us.
Mhm.
Our agent retention's been pretty high. So that's working. And I think probably the biggest challenge is, like you mentioned, trying to find new agents to recruit that have some experience. I love
Mhm.
my new agents. I love watching them, grow and soar. But it's nice to have an agent that comes in that already knows all the basics and we don't
Mm.
have to spend as much time training them. And they're just automatically gonna be successful right out the gate.
Yeah,
Takes that stress
absolutely.
out.
Wonderful. And I know, and yes, recruiting agents that are already trained would be ideal, right? But second best sounds like what you're doing. You're recruiting agents that maybe need training, but you're trying to make training as efficient as possible through using
Mhm.
AI and things like that. So, yeah, I think a lot of brokerages struggle with that. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see if there's some sort of solution out there that can really help strengthen the ability to recruit those type of agents that are going to be high producers.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, let's just talk a little bit more just about the tech setup that you have. I know you're using CRM right now. So where do you think, you're doing well when it comes to tech? And like, where do you think there's still friction or untapped potential?
So as far as being a broker, I think we have great tech and I think we have really good systems in place. But at the end of the day, I can't force my agents to use it.
Mm, mhm.
So we have Brivity is the system we use. It's our website, it's our CRM. It also has a marketing tool built in. I chose it honestly because of the marketing tool. At my old firm, we would need, some new listing flyers printed up, and it was just such a backlog. It would take like 5 days to get it. And
Mm,
now with this system, we go in, we type in the address, it pops up, we choose our template. I mean, 1 minute.
love that.
1 minute, it is done. It has plugged everything in. We can change the wording if we need to. You can even change the agent. If somebody else is hosting an open house for me, I can put them in there and it has their picture and their contact information. So
Nice.
that's been really great and really easy.
Mm,
And our agents are embracing the marketing side of that. I've taught them all how to go in when they have an open house and get a QR code for people to scan, and they're really doing a good job at that. But getting them to actually go into the CRM, put the client in, um, put in how many days to follow up. It automatically drafts email responses for you. So, I mean, it can be very simple and simplify your life. But,
mm.
you can lead the horse to water.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
so interesting that agents wouldn't like, lean into that. I do think, yeah, some people see it as a to-do, but once they start practicing it and seeing how much ease it brings to their, day to day, it's like, yes, maybe up front you have to type in a few things to the computer, but like then after that, it's basically all automated.
Yeah.
So hopefully there will be some adoption over time. People do, I think they just hang on to past, we're creatures of habit, and introducing something new it's hard to get adoption, but hopefully over time, once they see the benefit that AI has, they'll adopt it.
Yeah. And this one even has a task manager built in. We use Dot Loop as well for our contracts. I think a lot of
Nice.
people use that. And that also has tasks in it. But in the Brivity side, you can do these auto plans, put in your date that your due diligence ends, and then it'll remind you, like, the day before due diligence, hey, remind your client the due diligence ends tomorrow. And then you
Mm,
just hit the little button and it sends a little email to them.
love that. Love that.
Yeah.
And so you guys don't use transaction coordinators. You do all the coordination on your own.
Some of our agents do use transaction coordinators. We've had some agents in our office who have been transaction coordinators. There's several, companies in town that's all that they do.
Mhm.
For me, I just find it easy with this task just to kind of go through and check off my task on my list. I
Mhm.
have my email templates that I just automatically send out. Monday's my day to send emails. So like, all right, every Monday, I'm gonna send everybody a follow-up email that I'm under contract with, and they're gonna know what's
Yeah.
going on for the week.
I love that. That's wonderful. Are there any gaps or anything like that where you feel like your current that Rivian is not covering for you? Is there any places for improvement?
I mean, there's always places for improvement. I think one of the issues, yes. So you can also set up a search for your client on here,
Okay.
and I've tested out with a couple of younger clients that will fully embrace the technology. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna make you my guinea pig. Test this out and see if you like it. But going through the MLS and setting up a search, I can kind of be a personal shopper. So if my client says, hey, I really don't like stucco, I can go through, I can look at the pictures, and I'm not going to send them a stucco house. But
Mm,
with Brivity, you just put in, the price, the area, and then every week it's going to send them a batch of properties. So
mhm,
that's really, I think, more for the buyer who is already searching Zillow at 2 a.m. Just, hey, go search it through our website. We already have IDX set up. You can
mm.
search everything right there. Don't go to Zillow. And then I can see what you're doing.
Right.
But there's certain clients that they want you to be their personal shopper, and they don't want to do that. And so
Yeah.
I think the MLS is still really good for checking everything and sending them exactly what they want.
Yeah, interesting. So maybe like just stronger filters on Brivity or ways to
Yeah.
filter through properties. Yeah, we have the same thing. I have a lot of clients that are looking for like ADUs or things that they can kind of house hack, live in one area of the house um,
Hmm.
and rent out the other. And I have to tell them, our capability right now when it comes to what we can send you from the MLS is really just the bedroom, bath count, upstairs, downstairs square footage. Like I can't really say, does this have a lock off like option, or could you convert this to a lock off? And usually clients
Right.
understand that, but it does involve some level of like personal shopping that I do. And so what I do is I send all my clients like a day-to-day drip campaign that's just straight from the MLS. And then I do manual searches on my own, and then I just text message them things that I think that fit their criteria. So it doubles down on the search. They've kind of got two things going. One is like their own search on the MLS, and one is things that I filtered through. But I do agree, I think that's the most manual part of the process. So if
Hmm.
there's a way to kind of get a little bit better at that, that would be wonderful.
Yeah. And
Um,
if we have somebody here searching for like an STVR, or short-term vacation rental, there's a box that agents check when they list the property. Yes, this is an STVR.
oh, wow.
If they don't check the box,
Mhm.
sometimes they just put it in the description, but they don't check the box.
Mhm. Or
So,
sometimes they don't know,
things.
like yeah. It's hard to filter through. Sorry to cut you off there, but
No,
yeah.
you're good.
In Colorado, the legislation is so wild, and it is nearly impossible to understand. And that's what I specialize in is selling short-term rental properties here in Colorado. And so it's like that search almost has to be manual, because there really is, every single county, city, HOA is different. And
Hmm.
agents, if they don't think, their first thought is not, oh, I have this property and it could be a great short-term rental. Why don't I make sure that the public knows about that? Their thought is, I've got a house I want to sell. And so, they aren't necessarily thinking I better make sure that STR box is checked. So yeah, it's definitely the property search can be very manual. Um, but yeah, we're almost at the end here, but I wanted to ask just a quick couple last minute questions that I ask everyone. So, looking ahead, where would you like Salt Marsh Realty to be if in the next 5 years?
Oh my gosh. I don't ever want to be too big because I
Mhm,
like the family feel that we have. I would like for every agent that I currently have, to be reaching their potential, whatever it is. I
mhm.
mean, if I haven't, some of my part-time agents, if they just say, hey, I want to do 5 million this year, I would just love for them to get to that goal. Like I don't need them all to be $20 million producers, but whatever it is, whatever their goal is, I want them all to reach their goal. Um, yeah.
That's wonderful. And if you had one magic wand to kind of solve a big challenge or frustration in your business today, what would it be?
Oh my gosh, I'd clone myself so I could be in multiple places at once. It's hard being a mom and being an agent, but then also running a business at the same time. I mean, my
Mm,
kids will get in the car and I'm like, I'm on the phone. Just 1 minute, 1 minute. Give me a
yep.
second, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'd
don't know
clone
how you do
myself.
it all. I say to myself all the time, I'm like, I'm one woman and I have a dog. I don't have children. I don't know how people run this business with a whole family. So I commend you
Yeah.
for everything that you did or that you
Yeah, I
do.
don't sleep a lot.
Yeah, no, I can imagine you don't. And then just, given everything we've talked about, I know we've talked a lot about your systems and your processes in AI, but, if there is one thing that AI could do to help you out today, what would it be? Would it be something about like agent onboarding, agent recruiting, lead management, internal communication, motivation for your agents? Like, what would be the key for you? The
I mean,
unlock.
I feel like I've used the prompts and ChatGPT to help me with so much of that already.
Yeah.
It's helped me with the marketing, it's helped me with, the training and the writing and all of that. It's been great. I want to tell you this. I had a client, they loved this house. They hated the yard. It like overlooked the end of this pond that was kind of mucky. So I went in ChatGPT. I said, "Hey, can you take this picture and give me a landscape plan and make this yard look better?" And it
Genius.
did.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Why
I
not
love
start it?
that.
Yeah.
I've actually even seen, listing agents do that for properties that have maybe, like, outdated kitchens or baths, and they'll, like, AI and kinda show you what the potential is for different renovations in that house so that you can kinda start scheming and dreaming if you are the
Yeah.
buyer. So I think there's so many uses for it like that, so I love
I
that you.
love that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
kinda
wanna I
cool.
wanna embrace that more. I want to
Yeah,
find the full potential and, you
right.
know,
Like,
and
let's lean
really
in.
yeah. And I want somebody to create this thing that just goes in my email and puts it in my calendar.
I'll research that for you. Maybe we can find something together. I love that.
Maybe
Well,
somebody in Silicon Valley's watching.
Chrissy, it has been such a fun and insightful conversation. You've really clearly created something that is really special at Salt Marsh Realty, and I'm so glad that you took the time to chat with us today and talk a little bit more about your collaboration and your community involvement, and everything you're doing with AI all at once. So, before we wrap, wanted to see if you could share how listeners could reach out to you.
Oh, yeah. So we're in Savannah, Georgia. We, kind of encompass the whole from all the way kind of from Jacksonville up to I would say Hilton Head, Beaufort area. So we do kind of go over into South Carolina. And you can find us at saltmarshsavannah.com. You can email me at Christie at Salt Marsh Savannah and on Instagram at Salt Marsh Realty SAV.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Christy. And
Yeah.
thank you everyone for listening to the Ascend podcast where real estate meets AI. Huge thanks again to Christy Bergen for joining us and sharing how she's redefining what it means to lead a modern people first brokerage. And if you enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe or wherever you listen to podcasts, follow us, check us out on Instagram or LinkedIn. And until next time, keep pushing the boundaries between real estate and innovation.